There may be a Nokia solution and a Sony Ericsson solution, but you know, what is there something that can be done that's OEM agnostic?
So Lee, is there going to be a Symbian application store, or
Well,
is it
clearly. So we have an initiative we've defined as the application arena, which is in effect an inventory. We don't go. There's not an intent in the foundation to create a storefront, but to actually respect and help support the creation among OEMs, operators, and other third parties. Help them create the storefronts themselves, highly differentiated fronts, if you will, to a common application inventory. So that is an initiative that's been underway for some time, and I think when you combine that with the capability to get robust security, so we'll combine that with what has been a Symbian signed type of system and process for applications, and we'll also combine that with what I'll call a compatibility process as well, in terms of ensuring you have a common level of compatibility on Symbian-based products with applications. I think you start to really get a powerful solution for developers to go to market with this. So that, again, it's called Application Arena and is an initiative underway in the foundation today.
Ian, you had a question?
It's similar theme of just attracting the developers. I think there's a lot of activity on just getting applications, and to get the applications, we need to get the developers to code your platform. And how do you make it as easy as possible, as welcoming as possible? Create communities is always a challenge, right?
Oren?
Yeah, related, I think in a way the application ecosystem may take care of itself, and there are a lot of good ideas around that. I'm interested to hear actually what you think and what the rest of the panel thinks about how do you get contributions into lower levels of the stack. I know I've been at a couple of shows where somebody comes up to me and says, well, you guys are, Symbian really ought to redesign its telephony stack to do A, B, and C. And now we can say, great, go in there and play with the code.
Yeah.
And the question is, how do you then get that same kind of self-sustaining innovation at the very important but less sexy layers of the Symbian stack?
Do you want to say anything about that, Lee?
Yeah, I think
Can you
need
share
to be-
something about the kind of pipeline of contributions that's already coming up?
Yeah, you need to become familiar with the process, and the process of contribution for what I'll call a package owner. So therefore, a technology package that accommodates a collection of source code. But the point is there's a very specific process for this, where you can literally come in, access code, modify it, submit a change, and notify a package owner, and then go so far as to, if needed, work up through a council, let's say an architecture council, a release and/or a roadmap council or a UI council, and actually get approval for the modification officially in a distribution that will come out at a future date in the foundation. So, in short, again, that's familiarity with the process. That is taking that open code, making a modification, submitting it to a package owner, and then getting it ratified as part of the distribution.
But part of the answer is the device that you were waving around earlier, Tim.
Right.
So this, don't know if you can hold it up again, sorry. So part of the goal of this is that people will be able to test their own modifications to the Symbian platform on hardware which has already been identified as suitable for that version. So somebody says, hey, I can do a better version of the SIP stack or the ABCDE stack. They can get a hold of the binaries, they can flash it onto that device, they can check that they can build the existing version and run it. They can then put in their own version. And by the way, the Symbian Foundation won't be that interested in people unless they are running these tests and showing that their software doesn't. So these open platforms help.
So
Steve?
will that reduce the biggest issue that we see out there in the marketplace for the developers?
Will it reduce fragmentation? So I'm interested in general views on fragmentation.
One comment, it certainly, I think, will reduce. It's a question of how much. Your mileage is going to vary based on what area of the system you're working in, right? But another point there is that we will support in the distributions multiple reference platforms. And so again, you're likely to see some, your mileage is going to vary there. You're going to see some variation in that level of support depending on what layer or level of the stack you're working in.